Hi guys, today I'm going to be talking about cytoplasmic organelles and their functions. So there's three major parts of the cell. There's the nucleus, the cytoplasm, and the plasma membrane. So in the cytoplasm you'll find small structures called cytoplasmic organelles and vast networks of membranes. Organelles are specialized structures that carry out important jobs or functions of the cell, much like our organs. Ribosomes are non-membrane bound particles composed of protein and RNA. They're either located freely floating within the cytoplasm or attached to the rough endoplasmic reticulum. They mostly function in protein synthesis, so they play a huge role in the translation process by decoding information from the nucleotide sequences of the mRNA into their corresponding amino acids. So then they'll form peptide bonds to build chains of amino acids to produce essential proteins for the cell. The endoplasmic reticulum is a vast dynamic structure composed of complex networks of membranous sacs, channels, and vesicles. It has multiple functions including protein and lipid synthesis, transportation, calcium storage, and carbohydrate metabolism. So there's either rough ER or smooth ER. The rough ER has a high density of ribosomes attached to its surface, and they mainly function in protein assembly and transportation. The ribosomes attached to its surface will help translate and build polypeptides, which can then be transported through the tubes of the ER, where they are folded into their three-dimensional shapes. The smooth ER lacks ribosomes, and that's why it's called smooth, but is involved in mostly lipid synthesis and storage. It also plays an important role in steroid synthesis, calcium storage, and breakdown of drugs and alcohol. Vesicles are small fluid-filled sacs composed within a lipid bilayer. They function to store substances, transport material to the appropriate places within the cell, transport material outside of the cell, and even bring material into the cell from the external environment. The Golgi apparatus is a series of flattened membranous pouches called cisterine. It chemically modifies and packages material into vesicles for secretion or transportation within the cell. The Golgi apparatus also tags and sorts these molecules so they can be transported to the appropriate location. The mitochondria, it has two membranes. It has an outer membrane and an inner, with many folds that function to increase the surface area for chemical reactions. The mitochondria even contains its own DNA, as you can see in this picture here. The genetic material is formed into rings called plasmids. The mitochondria is the site of most of the cell's biochemical reactions. It captures chemical energy from digested nutrients such as glucose and stores it in the form of ATP. Energy is stored in the chemical bonds of ATP, which can later be used by the cell when they're broken. ATP is an essential molecule that powers many of the cell's metabolic processes and even is considered the molecular unit of currency. Liposomes are small membrane-bound organelles that pretty much act as the cell's digestive system. They digest material that is taken in by phagocytosis, such as foreign material and other waste products. They'll also even digest some of its own cell parts, such as worn or damaged parts of the cell. Peroxisomes are composed of membranous sacs, morphically similar to ribosomes. They house many enzymes called peroxidase, involved in many biochemical reactions such as catalyzation of hydrogen peroxide, decomposition of hydrogen peroxide, the synthesis of bile acids, the breakdown of fatty acids, and the detoxification of alcohol and drugs. And then here are my references.